Everybody, I'm Scott Allen Miller. Welcome back to Sam IT. Today we're going to talk about how Windows 10 just secretly released Open SSH right into the main package of the operating system. That's right, after years and years of people clamoring for SSH in Windows, and a couple years where Microsoft has made an official Open SSH package that was available through the external Chocolatey and NuGet installation mechanisms, now finally Microsoft has directly built it into Windows 10. Now, to be clear, it is still technically a beta, but it is built into the OS. It shows up right inside of it when you update to the most recent release from just a few days ago, and it gives you both the server and the client pieces of OpenSSH. And this is, yes, the same OpenSSH that you've come to expect in systems like Linux, Mac, and BSD. So this is a completely compatible ecosystem. We're expecting this to be widely used. This is a big, big announcement, but it's a beta, so Microsoft is not, waving the flag and getting everyone all riled up yet. It's a little bit early to be truly excited about it. Just kidding. Let's get excited. This is a really big deal, and I don't think that a lot of people, especially in the Windows ecosystem, really understand just how big this is. The lack of an easy-to-use universal SSH mechanism in Windows has been one of those things that people outside of Windows have been pointing at as a massive deficit of Windows for a really long time. SSH doesn't just make it easier to manage and maintain other systems, it's also a really simple, ad hoc, and highly secure file transfer mechanism, something that Windows has really lacked for a long time. This is a game changer as far as making Windows a lot more powerful and flexible and able to interoperate natively with all these other systems. Now, of course, we've had tools on Windows for a long time like PuTTY that work as an SSH client, and there have been ways to get SSH servers onto Windows, but it's always been cumbersome and normally involved a third-party mechanism, and it was not easy to automate, and it wasn't automatically maintained, and all those kinds of things that you look for from your primary vendor's operating system components. Unlike Linux and BSD and Mac and everywhere else where SSH is built in and universal and just included from the get-go and assumed that everyone's using the same version, so interoperability is super easy. But now Windows has joined the rest of the computing world using the simply universally accepted best way to do ad hoc connections for everything. This is a big deal, and we are excited to see Microsoft taking the leap to really join everyone and to stop pressuring so hard to build their own ecosystems and make everyone do things the Microsoft way. Sometimes they want to just play with everyone else and do things with what's best for the industry and best for their end users, and this is a huge win for everybody. If you are a Windows user and you've never worked with SSH, it's going to be a little bit of a change because it is so different from the Windows thinking method, especially the use of things like keys and passwords instead of using things like Active Directory integrated authentication. So there's going to be a lot of new stuff to learn, but it's well documented. And remember, this is OpenSSH, the exact same system that people on Linux have been using for a long time. So you're not dealing with a new mechanism that just happens to work with that. You're dealing with the same mechanism itself, just ported over to Windows. It is very easy to use, very well documented, very well known, and will work with everything everywhere. Part of the reason that this is such a big deal is because when moving to the cloud and to other hosted environments, I know that cloud does not always mean hosted if we're talking about cloud computing, but when we're talking about to systems that are outside of your main LAN and you want to be able to access them, the lack of SSH has been crippling to Windows ecosystems, whereas systems like Linux were able to be run in those environments incredibly simply, and this has exposed just how big of a gap there has been and how much Windows needed to catch up there. Unfortunately, that's how it was in the past, but today they've caught up, or just about, so at least in this way. So this is very exciting and extremely useful, even if people are not yet thinking of how they're going to use it. I guarantee once you start playing with some hosted systems that have SSH available and you're able to transfer files whenever you need, use jump boxes like we can in the Linux world, have really fast access through keys, be able to access systems that don't share your Active Directory, and all kinds of very simple mechanisms like that at a high degree of security and a very low degree of friction, you're going to be excited too. Thanks for joining me. Remember to like and subscribe. You can put your comments below. Ask questions about SSH. How are you planning to use SSH now that Windows has it? Are you excited? Do you think it doesn't matter? Let us know. And as always, you can sponsor us on Patreon using the link below. Talkadillo is a cloud-hosted or fully managed on-premises IP PBX platform providing businesses with simple and simply affordable voice communications. Visit Talkadillo.com and learn more about how Talkadillo can change how you view your telephones and help to support Sam IT.